the Nerdist celebration of Futurama. One of the funniest, nerdiest, smartest shows on television of our entire generation. It is a show that has refused to die, having more lives than James T. Kirk. This is like the 3rd or 19th series finale, I'm not sure. But this time, you guys, I feel like this could be the end until someone like Netflix picks it up and then it'll come back. But I don't know. But it's March 28th, 1999 is when the show started. Now 140 episodes later, and we're only 30 minutes away from the final episode. I can't keep my earpiece in because I have tiny, tight ear holes. Don't get excited. So this is going to be popping out the entire time. But we are very lucky enough. Oh, thank you. That was like the wettest willy I've ever had in my life. And I'm very honored to have that from you. We are joined by series creators, writer and executive producers, Matt Groening and David X. Cohen. The voice of Amy, Lauren Tom. The voice of Hermes, Phil LaMarr. And director Pete Avanzino, who I met Pete years ago when he was working on Ren and Stimpy. You've worked on many phenomenal shows, so congratulations, and I'm sorry that this is ending. But thank you guys all for being here on this night. How are you feeling? First of all, Matt, David, are you guys feeling, what is this?
Bittersweet, right?
Yeah.
I'm a little bitter.
He's bitter and I'm sweet.
Well, we have a bunch of questions. We want to get to fan questions before we get to the final episode, so we're just going to start pulling them in. This is from Corinne Bell. How much of the show's story has been planned from the beginning, and how much was made up as you went along?
We did a lot of planning. 2 years of just David and me talking about what we were going to do before we pitched the show the first time. So there was a lot of planning.
We actually had a binder. I'm not exaggerating. We had a binder of stuff this thick when we went into the Fox network to pitch the show to them, and they were pretty much blown away. We had drawings, we had stories, and they were so excited. They said, "We're going to order this series on the spot." And as we've said many times, that was the last good meeting we had.
Because you probably like, hey, The Simpsons did pretty well for Fox. They're going to let me do whatever I want. And then from what I read, you pretty quickly was like, oh, no.
Well, they said we don't do business that way anymore.
Oh.
You mean that making billions of dollars way?
Well, no, and no, that is not giving notes.
Oh, okay. Then you should have said, well, then I don't save networks anymore, you piece of shit. And then you throw all your work down.
But there,
Wait a second. I was slightly less rude than that.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
but there was a,
But I did, I think if I had to do it over again, I would have been nicer.
Yeah.
But there was a great quote from Matt back in those days where after the show started coming out, and we were working very hard to differentiate it from The Simpsons. We got the note, hey, we thought this was going to be more like The Simpsons. And Matt said, well, it is like The Simpsons. It's new and original. So
Nice.
that's Matt's quote.
And then do the network people just go,
But the way I said it, it's new and original. To say it in a sarcastic way like that just doesn't do any good.
2 words you probably wouldn't know, you crappy suit. And then you, again, threw the notes in his face. Phil, how has the experience been like for you all these years?
Well, actually, it's been about dodging bullets. Because when we first started out, the Hermes character, well, was he Dexter? Yes? Mm-hmm. At the very beginning, he was Dexter. He was just sort of an accountant. And it didn't really click. And I just remember after one of the records, Matt coming up to me in the hall and saying, can you do a Jamaican accent? Which, you think, oh, wow, they're thinking of going a different direction with the character. Yes, I can. My family's from Jamaica. They're there now.
Well, the idea of a Jamaican Rasta accountant, that was
funny.
a great combo.
Yes.
And
it worked out.
And it's a good thing we came up with it just 1 year into production of the show.
Well, that always happens. I mean, kind of going back to the question of like how much was planned and how much changes. A show always evolves. I mean, even when you see The Simpsons, season 1's different than season 3 in Futurama, you see the characters evolve. Do you kind of allow for that to happen? Do you know that that's going to happen throughout the series, so you're okay with it, or you're not afraid to take right and left turns?
I think it's inevitable on all cartoons. I mean, they always change. Mickey Mouse doesn't look the same.
That's right.
The other thing that's very noticeable in The Simpsons and Futurama is that the voices evolve over the years, and that I would say we're not that aware of it ourselves. And it's a slow feedback loop where you record the show, it airs a year later, and then the actors are hearing it and going, oh, this was funnier, and we're writing toward the strong points. So the voices evolve over the course of years, and it seems unnoticeable at the time, but when you look back after 3 or 4 seasons, it's a big change.
What about for you? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Phil.
No, somebody actually came up to me once saying, how come Hermes' voice sounds different now? It's like, well, it was 10 years ago. Your voice sounds different than it did 10 years ago, too.
I always find it's good to respond to fans with anger and aggression. Your dumb voice changed.
But you know what I really wanted to get on the show, which we never did, was Lauren Tom's laugh. I wanted to get, she'll laugh again later.
Here comes the tickle train. What about for you, Lauren? Like, what what was your emotional journey with the show?
Well, it's just been fun for me. These guys are such comic geniuses. Someone's got to be there to laugh. So I feel like that's my job. In a way, in my audition with Matt, I still remember, he said something, I laughed. He said, well, I don't know. Well, we got to get that crazy laugh in there somehow. So you're hired. We'll figure out what to do.
I remember another reason Lauren got the job is because she was able to curse in Chinese when called upon, just at will. She can curse in a TV legal way in Chinese.
That's right. The phrases that I learned growing up as a child were the 2 phrases that I use all the time in Futurama, which I can teach you right now if you like.
Yes, please.
Jom nigahao is I'm going to cut your head off.
Okay.
That was one thing that my mom and dad always said to me. And then da sende is I'm going to beat you to death.
All the lovely things you like to hear when you're growing up.
That's pretty much what my parents said in English.
I remember going to visiting China and coming home and being so excited to get to tell you. I said, they have the best Chinese food over there. And do you remember what you said? Over there, they call it food.
And then you said, I'm going to chop your head off.
That's right.
David, we asked you to pick your favorite scene from the 140 episodes across 7 seasons. Before we share your favorite scene, is there anything that you want to set it up in any way?
Well, of course, that's kind of cruel, because asking me to pick my favorite scene from all the episodes is like asking me to pick my favorite child. But luckily, I only have one child, so it wasn't that hard. So I picked a scene from the Emmy Award-winning episode, The Late Philip J. Fry, which was written by Lou Morton and directed by the great Peter Evanzino.
Peter Evanzino!
As we come into the scene that we're going to show, Fry, Bender, and the Professor have traveled 1 billion years into the future in a one-way time machine that can never bring them back. And Earth is now a burned-out wasteland, and yet Fry has come to some inner peace because he knows that Leela is somewhere in the past and she loves him. So I like the scene because it's beautifully animated, but also it's kind of thoughtful. It's kind of funny, and it's also very, very depressing, which is what makes me laugh the most.
Okay, great. Let's roll the clip. Totally, one of the things that's so wonderful about the show is that there's almost like, there's this like beauty and sadness thing in the show that happens. And I always find Fry to be, I don't know if this makes any sense, he's sort of like an optimist pessimist type. It's like he gets really down, but then he always just is like, oh, but I got my friends and everything's great and everything's okay.
That's the story of Futurama. You know, we're very happy one year and very sad the next year, so it's just on a different scale.
So Fry is really the soul of the Futurama meta show.
His emotions change from one moment to the next.
So David selected his favorite scene. Matt, what is your favorite scene?
Well, coincidentally.
What?
It was that scene. No, this was my favorite episode too, the one we just saw the clip from. But I like a different part of the show. I like what happened right after we faded to black there. It's more of the same, except different.
Okay, good.
Lighter and funnier.
Let's roll same but different. Well, we're taking questions, by the way. Fans all over the planet are tweeting questions. Use the hashtag Futurama when you're tweeting at us. This is from James Terfoni. How much research do you guys have to do for all your science-related jokes?
You should, Mr. Science.
The answer is very little, because we had several actual scientists in our writing staff. I was a mere master's degree in computer science, but we had Ken Keeler, PhD in applied math, Bill Odenkirk, PhD in chemistry, and Jeff Westbrook, PhD in computer science. So if those guys couldn't answer it, then we made something up. But
we had a bunch of Bachelor of Arts at the animation studio. So we had to do a ton of research to figure out what the hell they wrote about.
I know, he just, the master's in computer
And
science.
it put me square in the middle of the pack.
I think in this pack, though, you just dropped your nerd dick on the table. Just my master's in computer science, bam. So, Peter, did you sit in on any of the records, or do you get everything after the fact, or how much involved in the process, and where do you come in?
I'd come in, after it was scripted and recorded.
But you'd be there at the table reading.
We would be at the table read, and then we would take notes and discuss some of the stuff that's in the script, like dinosaur fights in the middle of that time travel thing. That Matt was nice enough to suggest an alternative where Fry gets a beer and misses the whole thing.
But you had all that found footage to work with, right? So. Oh my gosh!
So
that was probably the most ambitious thing, right? That whole
I don't think I've quite convinced them that it's harder to animate a half hour of stuff and cram it into 10 seconds.
No, you made it look easy.
Well, this is coming from Brittany Burnham, who wants to know: does Bender have parents?
We answered that.
We showed his. I'm trying to remember his. His mom was like a robot arm or something like that.
Right. In Mexico, right?
Right.
Something like
That
that.
was with you.
I remember. I just don't feel like saying it right now.
So, Brittany, watch all the episodes, I guess.
The Lethal Inspection episode had. Doesn't that go back to his?
That kind of contradicted the episode that showed that he did have a parent. And that one he just came down an assembly line. And
Scott Milliman wants to know how did Zoidberg complete his medical school if he is so clumsy and incompetent?
Well, he's very good at operating on his own kind, the Decapodians. He's a master surgeon. If you want your swim bladder removed, he's the guy. You just don't want to go to him if you're a human. So
Sure.
That's all. It was on another planet.
I love, there's a little Zoidberg plushie in the back there, and I think that represents the soul of Zoidberg. Like, he's just like, you just love him so much, and if you hug him...
I don't.
Why not?
Stinking crab got no sense in his head.
If an actual band were to do a rendition of the Futurama theme song, who should it be and why? From Charles Sanchez.
I don't. Any band, anybody. It's open. Come on.
Tommy Dorsey.
It's really open to anybody. I like Led Zeppelin. So.
Yes, we need Led Zeppelin to reunite for the Futurama theme.
Led Zeppelin, McCartney on bass, Jack White on lead guitar. If Fry and Leela had a child, would it be a mutant or... Oh, this is a crappy one. If Fry and Leela had a child, I'm just reading what it says, Justin Wayne Richards. Justin Wayne Richards, there can only be one of that guy. If Fry and Leela had a child, would it be a mutant or just stupid like Fry? I know, what a piece of crap.
why not both?
Why not both?
Why not both?
I mean, I don't know if they're like, Fry's, I wouldn't say Fry's stupid.
He's stupid.
He's clinically stupid.
Just because he's lovable doesn't make him not stupid.
I have no hope. If the Simpsons Futurama crossover episode is going to be the last ever appearance, is that going to be the last ever appearance by the Futurama characters?
Well, you guys are going to kill them all off on the Simpsons episode, right?
The Simpsons?
Hey, P.S.
No,
P.S. There's going to be a Simpsons Futurama crossover, by the way. That question kind of took that as a given.
The internet already knows, David. The internet already knows.
It's true, but they may not know.
Yes, we're going to do a Simpsons Futurama crossover, and we'll see. We'll see. In our hearts, Futurama lives. Well, we've been in this situation before. It's probably over, but we've said that before too.
Yeah, but I'd like to think we're going to be back in a lot more crossovers with maybe like South Park or Family Guy or something.
We're desperate. Yes, we'll do any cartoon show.
Can Futurama appear in the Justice League movie?
I mean, and then, wow.
A groundswell of support.
How amazing would it have been at Comic-Con if you saw like the Superman logo and then the Batman logo around it and then Zoidberg's face. I mean, you could have surfed out on the urine from all the people wetting their pants. Luis Zendejas wants to know, why didn't you ever make a Halloween episode?
We sort of did. It is called Ghost in the Machines. We didn't mention the word Halloween because our show only airs in the summer now. But other than that, and we also did another one called, it was the Where Car episode. The honking.
Oh, the honking.
So the answer is we did 2. So chew on that.
Excellent. We're only a few minutes
Way to
away.
treat the fans.
We're only a few minutes away from the finale. Can you give us any tonal hints about what we're going to see?
Yeah, it's, I like to say it's going to be a very romantic gore fest.
Is that, I mean, the challenge, and we can talk about this when we come back, because we're going to come back right afterwards to do a little post-show, and then we'll have some more people come out as well. But did you feel a lot of pressure going into a finale, or do you sort of feel like, you know what, are you zen and peaceful about it?
You know what was great about this is it's always worrisome when you're doing a final end of the season episode or end of series episode, and this one just worked really well. I think fans will really be satisfied by this. I think it's moving, and I think it's funny, and it's something you've never seen before. There's jokes that no one else could have done except for us on this episode.
And credit to the writer Ken Keeler who wrote this. This is the 4th series finale he's written for Futurama. So you know when it's a sign when a writer is getting really good at writing series finales. That's a sign that something's gone wrong.
He's sort of the Grim Reaper at that point. Like, don't hire that guy. He's going to write the finale.
The Nancy Culp.
He's written four Futurama.
Just Futurama
4
finales.
series finales.
He's probably got a drawer full of like, and here's how one Futurama the next time. Fan art obviously has been, like, Futurama, by the way, is a meme generator. From fan art to Shut Up and Take My Money. I mean, you always see it pop up on Reddit. Let's take a look at some fan art tribute celebrating Futurama. This one's from Nate Remick. If you guys want to pipe in and say anything.
Yes, old school.
You're hired.
Oh, but you're fired because the show's canceled. Yeah, there's that. This second one's from Huang Tran. This is his fan art. Oh, that's awesome.
Whoa.
What? Looks like he carved that.
Oh God, I thought that was his hands at first.
He carved that out of. He's such a huge fan. He carved it out of his own bone. I want Bender fingers.
People used to get credit for this kind of stuff, but now I just go 3D printer.
I thought it was a sonic screwdriver at first, and then I saw the Crayola thing. This is Tony Delmont. Tony Delmont.
Nice. Ain't no harmonies in it. I don't like it.
This is from Suki Bassoon. This next one, which will be coming up. There it is. Oh, another Tales of Interest. Oh, nope, nope.
We're moving backwards in time.
Scroll the other way. Nope. There we go.
There we go.
Nice.
Now,
That's the X-Men.
Are people constantly submitting stuff and art, and they're like, hey, can I, like, you know?
They submit it to the internet, and we see it on the internet.
You guys do see. I think people would like to know.
I can admit it now. We covered our refrigerator at work with fan art.
Well, that's good to know.
Wow, that's
it was
the ultimate
appreciated.
compliment.
It was because we spent a lot more time at the refrigerator than in the writer's room. So
Well, I think it's nice though that when if someone's a fan of a show, and particularly with the internet, I'm sure you're deluged with stuff. But I think fans really like to know that you guys actually see it, and I think they would like to know that it was up on your refrigerator.
We put a lot of stuff up, yes. And we look at, and different people, and it's always, I feel like I've seen everything, and then somebody brings in something that I've never seen.
And then someone brings that tattooed on someone's butt.
Right.
That's when you know.
I remember once at Comic-Con, I came up to this guy, and he said, let me show you my tattoo. And he pulled up his sleeve, and it was Dr. Zoidberg. And I went, wow. I said, I've seen Bender before. I've never seen Zoidberg. And he said, yeah, everybody gets Bender.
This next one's from Sal Elizararas. Futurama shoes.
that's how we're going to come back as a shoe, actually.
And then you're just going to have people walking really fast and then just go down the line to animate their movements.
Then we can and finally, I'm doing something functional.
We actually are going to be able to reveal the cover art for the Volume 8 DVD. So here's some actual official Futurama art. The DVD and Blu-rays are on sale December 10th. Also on sale for the holidays, the complete series DVD. So here is the cover of the upcoming series. Bam! Hypnotoad! gorgeous.
You know what's great about getting canceled once in a while? We already sold a complete series of Futurama. Now there's a new one. So.
The new, is it complete EAT?
Complete
At a certain
question
point,
mark.
at a certain point, though, do you sort of put it to bed emotionally? If someone came back, like if like Netflix or Hulu, or someone came back and said, "Hey, we want to make some more," would you guys ever consider doing it?
I think
No. Kickstarter, quick!
we like each other. We would love to work together again.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's
It's like
nice to
we're
know.
so used to doing it off and on that we might just be off for a little bit right now.
You never know.
You don't know if it's the big off yet.
Yeah.
Just after the episode airs, keep watching, and if another new episode comes on, that means we're back.
Then you'll know.
We actually have time for a couple questions from our studio audience. Yes, sir. What is your name and what is your question?
Hi, my name is Simon.
Simon.
I have a question. Will you continue Futurama in some other form of media, like a video game or a Lego set or something?
Well, you can build your own Lego Futurama if you want. We're talking about all kinds of possibilities, and no one's returning our calls. So no. We're maybe.
I vote we stick with animation, though.
That's so 2013. All the kids want Lego games now. What is your name, sir? What's your question?
Hi, my name is Cliff, and I actually have a question for Mr. LaMarr. Yes. So you've done Hermes, of course, but you've done a lot of other voices. Or is there another voice besides Hermes that's your favorite?
Richard. No, I don't know. I mean, because the voice is really only a part of the character, and each character is really only a part of the whole show and the work experience. I mean, nothing can really compare to doing, I mean, we've done the show since 1998, right? That we've been working together?
On the year 99, but we were working in 98.
You know, I mean, I've never worked on anything with
But I
the
think
same
it means
group of
other
people for that long.
Futurama characters, right?
Yeah.
Other Futurama voices you do.
Bubblegum tape. There's just there's something about that whole flat athletic voice, that I just love doing.
And he's a Nobel laureate. So.
What's that?
And he's a Nobel laureate. So.
Exactly. Maybe when we come back, we can go to the Globetrotter home planet. Can we?
Yeah.
How much freedom did you guys have in the record to screw around? Did you record as a cast? Did you record individually? Was there any?
They said we could only ad-lib mathematical equations. Which I'm like, oh, okay, well, I can't. No,
We record as a group as much as possible, actually. I mean, it's often difficult, especially for Katie Segal doing Sons of Anarchy, but even then, if we had some romantic scenes from this episode you're going to see tonight, I actually re-recorded a lot of it when she was available to make sure she and Billy were in the same room, because it's just plays much better. So we were lucky that we were able to do a lot of it as a group, and I think it brought it up one notch in the reality meter.
Excellent. I think do we have time for one more question?
they shut out the light.
Oh, they shut out the light. Well, if the light's off, that means we have no time for any more questions from the audience. Oh, yeah, we do have one more time for questions. Quick, get up there. It's almost time for the...
Hi, my name's Charlie. I just
sir.
wanted to ask you if you had a favorite Fry meme.
Do you have a favorite Fry meme?
Mine was already stolen, unfortunately, but shut up and take my money. That's the only one of all the memes that at the time we wrote it, I went like, this is going to get picked up.
You knew that was going to be the one.
That's Fry at the Apple store, basically, when hearing about how the phone has all kinds of drawbacks and the battery fails and there's no reception. Shut up and take my money.
Right before they jam it in his eye, right? Love that.
Also, want to shout out a big happy birthday to John DiMaggio. Today is his birthday. Red Johnny! Yay! Happy birthday! Your show's over.
Oh, he was talking about the Fry meme, like not sure if it's blank or blank. You're talking about the not the lines, but the actual like the image, correct? Did I misinterpret your question?
No, I think you got it. I think you got it. Yeah.
I'll answer that again later.
Which is perfect because we're just about a minute away from the lastest ever Futurama. It's about to begin on Comedy Central, so you actually have to go to a different device to watch that, but then come back but not for long. It's all going to be internet. We're going to be live back here in 30 minutes, right here to talk more Futurama. We're going to have some more people come out. If you can't watch the finale, or if you're a time traveler watching this from before the time of Comedy Central, then please enjoy this classic episode of Everybody Loves Hypnotoad. We're going to run it for 30 minutes on the Nerdist channel. We'll see you in 30 minutes. Please enjoy the finale. Thanks.
the evil